Hi, Rosanna. How are you? Thank you for letting.
Hi.
Hi. Thank you for letting me take the time out of your day for me to interview you. I know you got a lot going on with your newborn son, so I appreciate you letting me interview you for my project.
No problem at all.
So just for you, Professor Weimer, Rosanna is my current boss, where I intern over the summer for the last couple years now at Maryland Models. She's the head accountant. No, you're the controller, Rosanna.
Yes, one in the same.
One and the same. Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, and so I've been working for Rosanna for the last, I want to say, 3 years now.
Yeah.
Maybe even more. Honestly, it's been a long time. How long have you been with Maryland again, Rosanna?
I have been with Maryland for 6 years
Oh,
now.
6. Wait, really?
6, 7 years? Something like that.
Something like that. Yeah, I think I started. I'm 16. Yeah, I've been probably working there for four years now. Then, wow, it's a long time, huh?
Yeah.
All right, but so yeah, I'm gonna basically what I have to do. I'm just gonna ask you a bunch of questions about myself, a little bit about you when I go over the part about our social styles and yeah, this should be fun. This is gonna be a fun interview about seeing how well I work with you, which hopefully is good because
I
coming
promise
back.
to try to be nice.
Oh, you can be as candid as you want. It's candid as you want. It's all good here. So
Perfect.
So let me start with my first question is what social style would you categorize me as? And I'm gonna explain a little bit because this I don't know if you've ever done something like this before, so it might be a little new to you. But basically, there are 4 main categories of people, if you will, based on their characteristics. And so those 4 are driver, analytical, amiable, and expressives. And just to give you a little background on each of them, drivers are very businesslike, results-oriented. They're likely to take charge and take initiative. They take risks when making decisions and have strong opinions. Analyticals are detail-oriented, displays preferences for order. They let others take the social initiative and, conservative and practical in decision-making. They rely on they rely on factual evidence. Continuing on, amiables they appear to be quiet and reserved. They are friendly listeners. They're easy to get along with, enjoy personal contact. They rather have personal ties before goals. And they're concerned about collaboration and reaching agreements. And the last one is expressives. They are energetic, direct, and open, fast-paced. They willingly share ideas, insights, and visions, and they engage freely in friendly conversations. So, based on those 4 and the little details about each I gave you, which one do you see me as?
I would probably categorize you as amiable. I think you ask a lot of questions. I think you have a tendency to prefer collaboration, but you want to make sure that everyone's kind of on the same page.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, so I would definitely categorize you as amiable.
So it's funny you say that because that is when I took my social style assessment. That is the one I got, for lack of a better word. And I definitely agree with some of them, but like for instance, the first trait about it, or the first characteristic appears to be quiet and reserved. I mean, do you think that's me or what? Like, what do you think?
Oh, well, you've been working there for a couple of years now, so I think we've seen more of your social skills. I think you're a little bit more comfortable in the office.
That's a good point. I am.
Yeah, so I think initially maybe you could have been a little bit more quiet and reserved.
Oh, that's true.
I'm a little bit at a disadvantage here because you've been working there for a couple years now, so I think you're comfortable in the environment.
That's a good point. Yeah, that's a good point. I didn't think about it like that. Because they're definitely like being in a like with my friends, being in the office are two very different situations. And so just to like with my friends, I had to do other interviews with like my best friend from home, my best friend that I met here at Syracuse, and they were saying that they did agree a little bit about the amiable, but they also said that I was more of an expressive, which is like the energetic, direct and open, comfortable taking the social initiative. Like they see that in me more, but which I agreed with. And that's, if I had to, like, based off reading these, if I had to give myself one, I would choose expressive. But like I agree with what you said, because I think being in an office setting is very different. Or I act different in an office setting than I do, obviously, like with my friends, like I said, or at home or whatever.
Right? I'm not sure I've ever seen you in a social setting like
yes,
that.
so that's I agree.
Your social.
So I agree. So exactly. So I agree with what you're saying about amiable. It's a different perspective that I didn't see myself, because I know I don't really analyze. I didn't really analyze myself in a office setting. So it's nice to hear a different perspective from my boss, who is consciously watching me as how I portray myself in an office setting. So I appreciate that. Now, based off the styles that I gave you, which one would you think you are, and why? I'm just curious.
I would definitely have to choose analytical.
Mm-hmm.
I think being in the field that I'm in, I think accounting has to force you to be analytical. You're kind of forced with looking at numbers and trying to figure out why the numbers are the way they are. Can they improve? Where can they improve? You have no choice but to make decisions based on facts.
That's a good point, of course, yeah.
If you have an accountant that tells you they're being creative, get yourself another accountant kind of situation.
Wow, that's a very good point. That's really funny. Numbers don't lie. Wow.
There's certain rules that you have, that every accountant has to follow. So I definitely would categorize myself as more analytical.
Yeah, I agree. Would you say that having two different social styles, me being an amiable and you being an analytical, do you think that, like, I don't know, do you think that, like, it creates, like, conflict or anything, like, would you say, like, between, I mean, not, like, conflict between us, because that sounds pretty harsh, but, like, do you think, like, it affects anything in any way, or do you think, we work?
No, I think, on the contrary, I think it's a better work situation when you have people with different social styles working together. If everyone that I worked with was analytical, we would never make any type of decisions, because everyone's just going to be analyzing all of the information all the time. So you kind of need someone to take the risks, and you need someone to be the front man and be a little bit more of the social person. And, I think each of those social styles are necessary in order to run a good business.
Yeah, I agree.
And in your case, I think it works really well, because I kind of need someone that's going to be asking questions and has kind of this eager to learn, and isn't just going to go and make decisions that are not necessarily what I need them to be.
Yeah, no, I agree.
So it works out better that, you have much more of a collaborative kind of personality, and you think twice before you make these decisions.
Yeah, true. I don't want to do anything.
You're worried about what I would have to say, so you ask questions. So that's
Yes, that is a very good point. That's funny. Yes, I agree. I definitely agree. So yes, thank you for that. I'm gonna continue on to my next question, which is, what do you think my work ethic was/is like? What'd you say?
You've been at the company for a while, so
has it changed over the years? Has it? I mean, sorry. Continue on, then I'll ask. Continue on.
You've been there for a couple of years, so obviously I do think that you have a good work ethic.
True.
I think being in the modeling industry kind of takes a lot of different skills, and the fact that you're able to work and come back year after year says a lot.
Yes.
There's a lot of different personalities to deal with. There's a lot of ups and downs when it comes to fashion weeks and
true.
things like that. So I think the fact that you can navigate through all those things says a lot about you as an employee.
Thank you. I appreciate that. Do you think there was do you think you've seen like a change maybe in my work ethic as time has gone on year after year, like from the beginning to where I'm at now?
Absolutely. I think your comfort level has
definitely
been the biggest contributor to that, because as you get more comfortable with the day-to-day work and understanding how the business model is, I think you're a little bit more willing to be involved in different aspects of the company. So
True.
whether it's on the accounting side or it's on the creative side, you kind of feel a little bit more comfortable going between the two.
True. I also think I mean I obviously know a lot more than I did coming in or starting when I was 16 or 17. You know, I feel like I also know a lot more, and it does help, like going from different, like your department or even working in the art department, the creative side, or with the agents. Yeah, I definitely have a grasp of like mostly every place, every department in at Maryland. So yeah, I agree. Specifically talking about when I'm working with you, what do you think my hardest project and my easiest project was to complete? I guess you can start with the easiest, then we can go to hardest.
Easiest will definitely have to be filing.
Yes.
I know it can be very tedious, but
it's a good thing we're all in the same room when I'm doing it.
To get done.
It is one of those things that has to get done, and I'm glad I can when I'm there I can do it, and it doesn't have to be forced upon you. I hope you're I'm gonna be back soon, so I hope you're building up the papers that you stack on underneath your desk on top of like the printer or something.
Trust me, they're ready for you.
Okay, perfect, because I'll be back in probably around a month, honestly. I'm done with school, I think, like April 3rd. So I'll be coming back real soon. So yeah, keep those those papers stacking for me. And so what do you think my hardest project was?
Your hardest project would have to be the project that you had to do with Booker. You have to go through every single model and double check all of their information, make sure that all the information is correct, make sure the information is there. If the information is not there, you have to get the information. I think going back to your first question about the social style, I think having to sit by yourself and kind of work in a room without necessarily having anyone to ask the questions to. You had to go out on your own and find the information. I think that was a little bit difficult for you, and it was a very big undertaking, I think, for anyone.
Yeah, can we just I don't mean to interrupt, but how many models do you guys have again? A rough estimate.
200.
Yeah, just so my teacher knows how many models I was going through and inputting all their information, and it definitely took at least 1 week. I want to say around 2 weeks for me to do, because that was a lot.
Yeah, it was definitely very detail oriented. oriented, and we didn't exactly have all of the information at hand, so we couldn't necessarily point you in one direction
True.
to find the information.
Mm-hmm.
So that was definitely one of your harder projects.
Yeah, I would have to agree. Now I'm like shivering over here, remembering sitting in the office alone. Just, I'm just glad it's done, and I'm sure I'll be. Do you think?
We appreciate it.
Yeah, I know. It was again. It's like. Yeah, it was one of those things that had to be done for everybody's benefit in the office, you know. So I'm glad to have done that. Honestly. So that you kind of touched upon my next question of what skills of mine do you think helped me complete, I mean, not necessarily the filing, but what's it called? The Booker project I had to do. So I guess in this case, since you're saying like I had to do, it was very much detail oriented and whatnot. So I guess in our class that's called like flexing. So like flexing another social style, which is like taking on like qualities of another social style. So I guess in this case, it would be analytical. You would agree with that, right?
Yes, I think you were spending a little too much time in my office. I was rubbing off on you. Absolutely, I think
that's funny.
Part of a well-rounded person is being able to have qualities of several social styles. So I think.
Oh, thank you. Yeah.
Even though you weren't necessarily comfortable at first doing that project, I think eventually you kind of just got into a groove.
Yeah, I agree.
Figuring everything out.
After Model 100, maybe.
Yes, I think after a little while, you were kind of just more comfortable being in the analytical space.
Yeah, okay, I agree. Thank you. I appreciate that. So going off that, do you think I could have handled a bigger workload? And if so, why? Or do you not think so? You can be candid. I need this for my interview.
I definitely think you can take on a bigger workload. I don't know if you always think that you can, but I think it's important to kind of be pushed outside of your comfort zone.
Yeah, that's true.
And sometimes taking risk is not always a bad thing.
Yeah, I agree.
So I think just coming a little bit outside of your comfort zone to take on a little bit more responsibility, you can definitely handle it.
All right, well, I appreciate that. So yeah, I mean, I also agree with you. So going on to my last question, and this kind of I guess is an overall question that kind of encompasses everything else I've asked and about my personality and whatnot. So do you think working in the fashion world suits me or not? And if so, why? And if not, why? So what do you think?
I think the fashion industry definitely suits you. I think you have a very creative personality. I think you're very social. I think you get along with all types of people, which is a big skill to have in the fashion industry. So I think it definitely gives you a chance to express yourself and use your different skills that you have and you want to have. The fashion industry has so many different layers to it that you're gonna find your perfect
role. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. And I honestly I'm happy you say that because I love working in the fashion world. I mean, I think it's the more I think about it and the closer it gets for me to finishing school, I'm trying to find my place, if you will. And I mean, I've experienced several things doing different jobs and stuff, and I have to say working at Maryland has definitely been my favorite place to work. I mean, the atmosphere, the energy there, I mean, everything. Good people there, of course, or, I mean...
We're glad that you like it. We're always happy to have you.
Thank you. Thank you, Rosanna. I appreciate that. I appreciate it. So, those are all my questions I have today, and I appreciate you. Again, I appreciate you taking the time because of, I know, with Logan and all that. So, I won't keep you any longer, and I appreciate you letting me do this, so thank you.